what advice would you give to someone starting off today in the music industry? No pressure.
No. I think that people that start today, they have an advantage on us oldies, because they know how to navigate the web, because everything passes through, everything is online right now.
Yeah.
So if you're not very skilled, then you need to have someone who knows how to push your stuff, because back in the days, you were signing on a label and the label was, doing it.
Yeah.
But now, even a label which is online has to do this stuff online, and not always it's easy, to get there. And then you have to have the knowledge of all these platforms and Spotify and YouTube and how is it working. And in the end of the day, we have to monetize, and it's very difficult now to monetize from the streaming, because streaming pays very, very little. So also that is, sometimes it's discouraging. I think that the main thing which is important is to do the things out of your heart, out of your passion, and not because you're seeking some kind of return. Because then you, I don't know, you get discouraged. I think so. I think that sometimes I did little things in between, because, in the music industry, you have always ups and downs. You have good times and you have bad times, and the bad times, when there are bad times, are very bad.
Yeah.
Because it goes down and nothing is coming in. You have no income, and stepping back from a good position, artistically spoken, is very difficult, because we cannot deny that we are very, very much into our ego. This is something that every artist has. Even though you try to remain humble, there is a part of you which it has always this conflict, with your ego. So I remember that I was lucky enough for a long time to be able to live thanks to the music, because I've always been performing live, not only as a vocalist in clubs, but also as a singer with bands, piano bar, as a solo singer, because I love to sing. So I couldn't stop this, And so when I moved to the island, I discovered that on this island they paid very, very few compared to what I was used to. And so I really had this conflict with my ego. I said, come on, I cannot move back, and work for little money. So I decided I was going to do it for fun. I wanted to feel the vibe of singing together with musicians and having this. So I knew this wasn't my income. So I said, okay, I'm going to turn this around. And fortunately, I have my income from my author's rights, my copyrights. So that it helps.
Of course, it helps. Yeah.
It helps. So I said, okay, I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna sing as live as for a hobby. And then after more or less 1 year, I was able to rise my price because they started to know me, because it's not something automatic that because you have an audience, a big audience somewhere, then in another place you have the same audience. That's not true.
No.
So when I was flying to Siberia as a house diva, I had like people waiting for me at the airport. Nothing happens here on the island like this. So they don't know me. So in a way, it's okay because I have a lot of privacy here. I can go out and nobody knows me. But then, I can make a living also because I'm not doing only one thing. I'm doing a lot of stuff, but in the music industry anyway. So,
but that's amazing, Sharon, that you're prepared to, even talk about that, because again, that is incredible, because you're right. The ego thing. I mean, back in 2000, for example, at the time I was paid a certain amount of money to do a remix, and all the record companies, would pay me in a certain amount to do this remix, and I would do a remix almost every day. I would get up in the morning. The first thing, a courier would arrive with the DAT tape back then. I would put it in the studio. I would sit down and I'd start to do a remix. And by the end of the day, a courier would arrive at night, take away the DAT tape that I just mixed, and another one would arrive in the morning. And I was paid a lot of money at that time to do these remixes. But of course, the record industry, or the record companies at that point, was before the big slam. And then, of course, the first time a record company phoned me up and said, well, can you do this remix? And I was like, yeah, sure, great, sounds fantastic. And then they said, but we can only pay you half. And of course, then my ego kicked in, and I was like, no chance. There's no chance I'm doing that. And then they said, well, that's all we've got to offer, and if you don't want to do it, we'll go somewhere else. And I said, well, go somewhere else then. And for about 6 months, I did that. And then I realized, like you, I was like, well, this is the new industry. I mean,
things are changing. Yes, right.
Tonight, it's party time.